Why do real estate agents burn out? We see it all the time. Sometimes we feel it. If you've been in business long enough, you've probably gone through a cycle and you're like, I'm out of real estate. And if you're new, you might already be feeling it. So let's talk about it. But first, let's start with a quick story. The famous baseball player Joe DiMaggio, 1951, December, he decides that he's going to call it quits and he's around 36. So he's not really old, but at that point, he's had some physical injuries and he's also noticing that it's becoming a little tougher and critics are noticing. And he says one thing that becomes key to what I want to talk to you about. He mentions that he doesn't have the same joy for the sport. And he let critics get to him. He also naturally got older, but we've all seen players even older than that continue to play because they absolutely love the sport. So I want to go over a few things that I think are a challenge in our business because psychologically, that's where the problem is. And that's where we can look at Joe and learn something there. The first thing I can tell you that we hear that we may even feel is this: fake smiling and hearing no all day is a big challenge. And I've got these written out for you. If you need them, let me know. The problem is this, and I'm going to read this to you. It takes a lot of energy to pretend you're happy when people are constantly rejecting you or being rude to you. Because we do put ourselves out there to call people that are brand new, to meet people. And then in some cases, some people can be extremely rude to us or yell at us or just give us that feeling like maybe we're not worth it. And if we dwell on that, that becomes a bigger issue. If we have to put on a fake happy face all day long, what happens is your brain gets completely worn out from acting. It's true. Here's part of the solution. Stop pretending everything is perfect because guess what? It's not, and it's never going to be. This business is hard. Know it from the beginning. Allow yourself to feel frustrated between calls. It's normal. And focus on building real connections with customers instead of putting on a fake show. This is why I tell people, listen, it's probably better if you show up who you are consistently, sincerely, authentically, show up in front of people on social media and attract that audience, attract those people that know who you are so you don't have to pretend it. Like, I don't like certain people because they drain me. I don't want to work with them, and you shouldn't either. Now, I did make sacrifices in the beginning because I needed to grow my business, and that's part of it. But there comes a time when you're like, is it worth it? And sometimes it's never worth it for some people. Number two, feeling you have no control. The problem in sales, you can do everything extremely well and still lose the deal because the customer changed their mind. I had it happen to us last week twice. And I know that in the current atmosphere we're at, some listings are taking longer to sell, so it's creating a problem because of that expectation from the seller. And here's the thing, when you work hard but can't predict results, your brain gives up and feels helpless. It's part of the process. So the solution, focus only on what you can control. Let's apply some of this Epictetus, some of this Marcus Aurelius mentality. Focus on what you can't control. Like, how many people can you reach out today rather than keeping the score? That's definitely going to help. Number three, being caught in the middle. Let me explain. Here's the problem. Your boss wants you to sell as much as possible, right? Your boss meaning your broker, your team leader, or maybe you're your own boss and you have these expectations, right? Well, you're going to hit this big goal. Now that goal is driving you or in front of you, but your customers want what is actually best for them. Being pulled in two different directions makes you feel trapped and stressed. Like this goal that looks like it's all about numbers, transactions, volume, money, versus this over here, which is taking into consideration your client's emotions, their current actual state, what they want, what's best for them. And the solution, kind of going back to number one, right? But the solution here, be honest with both sides and act like a trusted advisor. What are you here for? What's the ultimate goal? Who can you serve? What's your purpose? Your purpose isn't money. That's the side effect of doing the things continually that you do so well. What is that? So think about that, because the solution is also this. If a product is a bad fit for a customer, say so. This is important because it creates trust. And long term, it creates stress if you're showing up like the wrong type of person for this specific client. This is why I went back to number one, attract the right audience for you who believe in who you are and how you show up already. Like they love your marketing. They love what you do on social media. They love your newsletters. They love your negotiation tactics. They love the community events you put on. That's you, right? Don't be caught in the middle. Be who you are. Always being stressed on a call. That's a tough one. And sometimes you will encounter another real estate agent who just isn't the nicest because they've had a tough day. They've had a tough week. They've had a tough life, and they don't know how to process any of that. So the problem, your body treats a missed sale like an emergency. I know because it's happened to me. So it pumps stress chemicals through the system. So how are you going to react if you know that's happening? When you check your phone late at night and never take a break, your body stays on fight or flight mode. And all of you, I think, if you've been in this business for a while and you've gone through these massive ups and downs, all of you have woken up late or can't go to sleep, and you're thinking and reliving that moment and what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. That's the problem. The solution, put your phone away and shut down your computer at a specific time almost every night and let your body calm down and rest. I would also probably add, now that I'm thinking about it, is write things down. What am I going to do tomorrow? What are my worries? We had a brain dump last week, and I don't remember what episode it was. Let me see if I can pull it up right now. The brain dump one was episode 961. It was the evening routine, the worry brain dump process. I had a whole document on that one if you want to take a look at it. But have a routine on shutting down and what that looks like too. So there's a process. All right, last one. Working only for money. I think you've gotten the point at this far in that you shouldn't just be working for money. This business isn't for that. Yes, you can make an amazing amount of money, but it's not what it's about. Here's the problem. If you start a job because you genuinely like helping people, but the company only praises you when you hit a money goal, you stop enjoying the actual work sometimes. Because what are they celebrating? You're watching all brokerages do this. They celebrate volume. They celebrate GCI. I mean, there's even a whole thing that tracks the amount of money your team, your brokerage makes. The focus is all on the money, instead of shifting that focus to the thing that actually matters. The solution, remind yourself of the real world problems you're solving for your clients so that your happiness comes from the value you create, not just the size of your paycheck. There's nothing wrong with celebrating how much money you make, right? And how that's changed your world and your client's world. But it needs to coincide with the value that you're actually providing. In fact, I lead with that. You should lead with that every single time. Who are you going to help today? The question that we asked last week, because of the person we interviewed, best-selling author Tom Rath, right? In his book, Strength Finders 2.0, he talks about part of that. And in his new book too. But who are you going to help today? So think about these reasons of why people burn out. It all revolves around one thing. They're not showing up authentically. They're focused on the money. And yes, we need the money, but the focus should be on the process. What are you actually doing daily to get to where you want to get to? If it's not happening, start changing things. Anyway, hope this helps. If you have questions or you want to expand on this with me, if I missed anything, let me know. Thanks for being on.